Hey, this is Arrabon with another episode of Thoughtful Thursdays, where we answer questions to help you and your community become more of a reconciling community. My name is Elena Tamice, and today I'm joined by Tamice Spencer. She's been working with Arrabon to become a trainer, and we're so glad to have you with us. What is our question today?
Hi, Elena. Today's question is, as a white, non-racist Christian, how am I implicated in issues of race?
That's a great question, and one that we've certainly heard before. I think it's a challenging one because it's easy to think of just our individual actions in a conversation about racism, and hard to see sometimes how you're implicated in something beyond individual actions. How do you help people understand this, Tamice?
I too think it's a great question and certainly understandable. As I'm working through these issues with my white brothers and sisters, I typically refer to what we believe about the sin of Adam and Eve. Now, we know that Adam and Eve lived a long time ago, and they made a decision that had nothing really to do with us, that we weren't a part of. But it doesn't change the fact that the implications of that decision affect us relationally, emotionally, personally, and even systemically. And so when we think about racism in our country in particular, I like to think about how the sins of our forefathers affect us today. And so as a Christian who is pursuing being non-racist, I would say that you are implicated just because of the fact that these things were set in place, which had nothing to do with you, but they were set in place before you got here. And so the question becomes, how do we pursue reconciliation in light of that?
That's so helpful to me. I similarly was thinking about sin, and I had a professor that said, sin is lamentable but not surprising. And I think that's so helpful in these contexts to remember, like, first of all, we might be surprised by the sin in society, surprised by the sin in ourselves, but according to the scriptural narrative, it shouldn't be that surprising. It's happening all the time. And also in scripture, we're told that we wage war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. And sin is involved in these principalities and powers. It's not just a thing that happens out of the person. It's not just a relational manifestation. And this is especially true for racism. Racism is part of the systems and structures of our country. It's been passed down to us, and even though we may not have made all those decisions, we have to realize that we grew up in this space. It's in the air that we breathe. It's affected and formed us in certain ways, and we have to learn what it means to work and write a new narrative. So all of us, this is something that matters to all of us, and not just something that we battle on behalf of people of color, but I think it's something that's malformed all of us. Thank you for watching the Thoughtful Thursday video. Please leave questions or comments in the comment area below. Take a moment and share this with a friend, and hit subscribe so that you can get the Thoughtful Thursday question each week.